Lombok Island. Lombok is an island in West Nusa Tenggara Province, Indonesia. It forms part of the chain of the Lesser Sunda Islands, with the Lombok Strait separating it from Bali to the west and the Alas Strait between it and Sumbawa to the east. It is roughly circular, with a tail, Sikatong Peninsula, to the southwest, about 70 kilometers, 43 miles, across and a total area of about 4,514 square kilometers, 1,743 square miles. The provincial capital and largest city on the island is Mataram. It is somewhat similar in size and density with neighboring Bali and shares some cultural heritage, but is administratively part of Nusa Tenggara Barat along with sparsely populated Sumbawa. It is surrounded by a number of smaller islands locally called Gili. The island was home to some 3.35 million Indonesians as recorded in the decennial 2014 census. The census 2014 resulting the population as 3,352,988. Tourism in Lombok. Tourism is an important source of income on Lombok. The most developed tourism area of the island is on the west coast of the island and is centered about the township of Senggigi. The immediate surrounds of the township contain the most developed tourism facilities. The West Coast Coastal Tourism Strip is spread along a 30 kilometers, 19 miles, strip following the coastal road north from Mataram and the old airport at Tampanan. The principal tourism area extends to Tanjung in the northwest at the foot of Mount Rinjani and includes the Sire and Medana peninsulas and the highly popular Gili Islands lying immediately offshore. These three small islands are most commonly accessed by boat from Bangsal near Paminan, Teluk a little to the south, or from further south at Senggigi and Mangsit Beach. Many hotels and resorts offer accommodations ranging from budget to luxurious. Recently direct fast boat services have been running from Bali making a direct connection to the Gili Islands. Although rapidly changing in character, the Gili Islands still provide both a layback backpackers retreat and a high-class resort destination. Other tourism in Lombok. Tourism is an important source of income on Lombok. The most developed tourism area of the island is on the west coast of the island and is centered about the township of Senggigi. The immediate surrounds of the township contain the most developed tourism facilities. The West Coast Coastal Tourism Strip is spread along a 30 kilometers, 19 miles, strip following the coastal road north from Mataram and the old airport at Tampanan. The principal tourism area extends to Tanjung in the northwest at the foot of Mount Rinjani and includes the Sire and Medana peninsulas and the highly popular Gili Islands lying immediately offshore. These three, Lombok is famous for its diversity of breaks, which includes world-renowned Desert Point at Bangko Bangko in the southwest of the island. The northern west coast near Tanjung has many new upmarket hotel and villa developments centered about the Sire and Medana Peninsula nearby to the Gili Islands and a new boating marina at Medana Bay. These new developments complement the already existing five-star resorts and a large golf course already established there. Gili Islands and Mount Gunung Rinjani, Lombok, Indonesia. The Gili Islands, three Gilis, Kepulauan and Gili Islands, are an archipelago of three small islands, Gili Trawangan, Gili Mano and Gili Air, just off the northwest coast of Lombok, Indonesia. The islands are a popular destination for tourists. Each island has several small resorts, usually consisting of a collection of huts for tourists, a small pool and restaurant. Most local inhabitants live on Trawangan in a township stretching along its east side just inland, which is also where most recent development is taking place. Automobiles and motorized traffic are prohibited on the islands by local ordinance, so the preferred method of transportation is by foot and bicycle or the horse-drawn carriage called a saitamo. Scuba diving and freediving in and around the Gilis is also popular due to the abundance of marine life and attractive coral formations. Most famous diving spots are Shark Point, Manta Point and Simon's Reef. The name Gili Islands is a misnomer, because Gili simply means small island in Sisk. As a result, most of the islands around the coast of Lombok have Gili in their names, although confusion is averted by referring, in English, to the other Gilis around the Lombok coasts by their proper names only. The Indonesian word for water is air, and Gili Air was named for being the only island of the three to have subterranean fresh water. This is acknowledged as a finite resource, with some resorts and restaurants shipping in the water from the mainland. Gili Mano. Gili Mano is the middle of Lombok's three northwest coast Gilis. Gili Mano has a population of about 500, mainly concentrated on the center of the island. See section on demography. The main income comes from tourism, coconut plantation and fishing. On the west side of the island there's a small shallow lake that produces salt in the dry season. Until a few years ago there was also a small production of seaweed on the reef at the north end of the island. Gili Mano has swimming beaches all around the island, and a turtle sanctuary. The island attracts fewer tourists than Gili Trawangan and is the quietest and smallest of the islands. However, honeymooners are often drawn to the crystal clear water and idyllic, secluded white beaches. Since early 2017 fresh water was installed on the island and is supplied by underwater pipes from Lombok. Electricity is supplied by underwater cables from Lombok. There are no cars or motorbikes. Gili Trawangan. Gili Trawangan is the largest of Lombok's Gili Islands and the only one to rise significantly, 30 meters, above sea level. Measuring 3 kilometers long and 2 kilometers wide, it has a population of around 1,500, see demography. The name Trawangan originates from the Indonesian word Terawangan, tunnel, due to the presence of a cave tunnel built there during Japanese occupation in World War II of the Gilis. Trawangan is the most developed and geared towards tourism. The main concentration of settlement, recreation, accommodation and diving business is situated on the eastern side of the island. A local pub, Ternanog, claims that Trawangan is the smallest island in the world with an Irish pub. It was previously administered under Lombok Barat Regency along with Senggigi until 2010 when the Gili Islands came under the jurisdiction of the new North Lombok Regency, Kabupaten Lombok Utara. On Gili Trawangan, as well as the other two Gilis, there are no motorized vehicles. The main means of transportation are bicycles, rented by locals to tourists, and Saitimo, a small horse-drawn carriage. For traveling to and from each of the Gilis, locals usually use motorized boats and speedboats. Some of the first inhabitants of Gili Trawangan were fishermen and farmers from Sulawesi. Previous to human settlement, Gili Trawangan was covered in forest and deer lived on the island. Source: Inhabitants of Gili Trawangan, no printed source available. The economy of Gili Trawangan centers on tourism, as the island is too small to support any broad-scale agriculture, and too remote to allow economically viable industry or commerce. There is a mosque on the island.